Just in the last 2 minutes, it looks like the House has adjourned for the evening. This House Speaker election has been historic in many ways, and as Mark mentioned, the House can't get to work without a speaker. And joining us tonight, Professor Stephen Caliendo from North Central College. Professor, great to see you. Thanks for your time tonight.
It's good to see you too.
I have like 100 questions for you.
Let's do all of them.
Yeah, right. First, explain what the heck is happening.
Well, I mean, it's in some ways it's simple mathematics. In other ways, it's complicated politics. You have a very slim majority for the Republicans in the House of Representatives, but the rules say that you need to have a majority of votes to elect a speaker, not simply a plurality. And there are 20 Republicans over the last 3 days who have refused to endorse Kevin McCarthy, who was the presumptive speaker for this position. So we're 11 votes in at this point, I believe, and still nobody with a majority.
So what needs to happen? Simply a majority needs to vote for Kevin McCarthy for him to become speaker?
Or they need to agree on somebody else, or they can change the rules so that it's simply a plurality. That would be an interesting move because it would force those 20 to decide if they want to have Hakeem Jeffries, who's been the Democrats' nominee, or if they want Kevin McCarthy. And so it's really about calling a bluff if they want to try to change the rules and do it that way. But it's quite a gamble.
This is Speaker of the House of the U.S. Representatives. This is an incredible position. Why are Republicans, in your opinion, so divided? They take back control of the House, they can elect a speaker, and they can't even. Why is that even happening? You would think they would be able to come to an agreement and have someone already.
You know, it's kind of a different world. Of the 20, they're not unified in their reasons why they don't want Kevin McCarthy. For some of them, it's personal. They just don't like him. They don't trust him. For others, there are specific things that they were hoping to get. But he's been giving those folks lots of things, not just over the last 3 days, but over the weeks since in November, when we knew that the Republicans would have a slim majority in the House. And they keep getting what they're asking for and then asking for more stuff. And so McCarthy's folks are not backing off, and they keep having votes over and over again. But these 20, for various reasons, are holding up the process, and they believe that they're emboldened by their constituents at home to do just that.
Florida Representative Matt Gaetz today, if people have been following this closely, maybe not a huge surprise, he nominates former President Trump. And I think a lot of people are like, can you even do that? Can you explain that? Because it is possible, right?
That's correct. You do not have to be a sitting member of the House of Representatives to be Speaker of the House. I'm hoping if this goes long enough, perhaps I will get a nomination at some point. Maybe you will too. Maybe my 12-year-old kids will get nominations. It's really gotten to the point where there was no question that was going to be a serious candidate. But neither have the other Republicans that have been nominated over the past 3 days. None of them got more than 20 votes, and they knew that was what was going to happen. So these are symbolic in lots of ways. Certainly, nominating the former president was a symbolic move. It's not serious. And but the holdup is serious, and so we're gonna have to wait and see how it shakes out.
Because no one can be sworn in, right? I mean, this brought the House of Representatives to a standstill. They cannot govern until a speaker is chosen.
Every one of the House members, the 434 House members, because we had one death in Virginia before January, 434 members are all members elect. They're not sworn in. They're not members of the House at the moment. So until they get a Speaker of the House and they can organize themselves, they can't do the swearings in. And that's been a problem too, because lots of the new members in particular brought their families down, took kids out of school, etc. This is a very ceremonial sort of thing, and they haven't been able to get that done either.
What do you think happens for this to come to a conclusion?
Man, I've been trying for 3 days to figure out what's going on and how it's going to happen. I wish I knew, but I will tell you this: the speeches that I heard just before we got on air tonight from the folks who were represented in that 20 were belligerent. Now, whether or not that was for show or whether or not it was authentic, they are not having any indication whatsoever that they're going to vote for Kevin McCarthy. Remember that he can only lose 4 Republicans. So all but 4 Republicans have to vote for him, or he doesn't become Speaker of the House, unless some Democrats would vote for him, and they haven't shown any signs that they're willing to do that, and we can understand why.
And next time we speak with you, do you think Kevin McCarthy will be Speaker of the House, or it will be someone else?
I do not. I don't see what the path is at this point. Even the most ardent McCarthy supporters are saying that there's somewhere between 6 and maybe even up to 8 of those 20 who will never vote for Kevin McCarthy. Now, you never say never. Who knows what other things? But I don't know what else there is to give out. I don't know whether other deals could be made. There's simply too slim of a majority and too many folks in that caucus that are upset with Kevin McCarthy for him to have a path. Unless some magic can happen, but it didn't happen last night, it didn't happen the night before, and it didn't happen all during the day between votes. So I don't know what more can happen this evening.
Professor Stephen Caliendo from North Central College, your insight and simplicity breaking it down for us, greatly appreciate it. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Have a great night.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.